with the anticipation of the season's first Grand Slam, the Australian Open that starts on Monday. Building Serena Williams, not surprisingly, is central to most storylines. In particular, her march towards the all-time record of 24 singles Grand Slam titles. Williams, who won her 23rd major at the 2017 Australian Open when 8 weeks pregnant, is looking to draw level with Margaret Court's tally of 24 majors. And at Melbourne Park, where Court has an arena named after her. Serena Williams during a practice session in Melbourne ahead of the Australian Open. AFP, Asanka Brendan Radneyaki. While the two are undoubtedly the greatest of their eras and, for some, competitors for the greatest ever, they have come to mean emphatically different things outside the tennis court. Court, in her post-tennis life, has preached segregation and intolerance. Williams has broken barriers like no other. Court holds the record for the most number of Grand Slam titles, 64, including doubles and mixed doubles. And it is unlikely that anyone will overhaul it. The International Tennis Hall of Fame describes her as, from 1960 until 1975, Court won a record 24 major singles titles, best in history, regardless of gender. Court, who was nicknamed the Aussie Amazon, was perhaps the fittest player on tour, her strength and endurance buoyed by weight, circuit, and cardio training in running sand hills. Her physical advantage enabled her to overpower her opponent in a relentless serve and volley game. Court's reach at net was all-encompassing, prompting Billie Jean King to dub her the Arm. She supposedly had arms 3 inches longer than a person of her size. Like Williams, she stood at 5 feet 9 inches. Like Williams, she dominated the court and her opponents. But Court, who is now a Christian minister in Perth, has bristled sensibilities with her intolerant views. In 1970, she is reported to have said, "South Africans have this thing better organized than any other country, particularly America, for the apartheid era." She has been in the news for her homophobic news and only last year, during a radio interview, said, "Tennis is full of lesbians, and that transgender children were possessed by the devil." There was talk at last year's Australian Open of boycotting play at the Margaret Court Arena for her outspoken and bigoted views. That never materialized, but over the years Court's legacy has steadily eroded due to her worldview. Williams, meanwhile, has challenged the established world order since she was a teenager. In a predominantly white game, the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena, were treated as outsiders. Their father often mocked for his ambitions for them till they powered their way into the Grand Slam winners' circle. Serena, younger of the two, was the first one through when she won the 1999 U.S. Open at the age of 17, only the second African-American woman to do so. Their raw power was unmatched, so was the hunger wedded in the ghettos of Compton, California. They powered around the court, beaded braids flying, a picture of uncompromising strength and grit. They challenged what women's tennis looked like and played like. "Since I don't look like every other girl, it takes a while to be okay with that," Serena Williams had once said. "To be different. But different is good." In June 2002, they became the first sisters to be ranked number 1, Venus, and number 2 in the world. They have won 30 singles Grand Slam singles titles between them. Serena was always the mentally tougher of the two and has over time come to be known as the toughest competitor on the tennis tour. Being the frontrunner and playing with a target on her back, the younger Williams sister has shown superhuman ability to absorb that pressure. She has fought off opponents, battled through distractions, overcame injuries and tragedies. Her half-sister Yetunde was murdered by a stray gunshot in 2003 to win her 23 majors. Last year, she returned to the tour, after giving birth to daughter Alexis Olympia in September 2017, and quickly buckled down to business. Supermom Williams made the finals of Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, but was denied the record-equaling 24th major. Her implosion at the U.S. Open final took some sheen off it, but it was a heroic comeback nevertheless. A few months before her return to court, Williams had survived multiple surgeries after complications during childbirth. At 37, almost 20 years after winning her first Slam, Williams will once again chase history at the Australian Open next fortnight. The American is looking much fitter than what she did on her return last season and seems primed to join Court as one of the few mothers to win a singles Slam. "I think that no player will be able to beat my record of 64 Grand Slam titles in total," Court said of the prospect of Williams going level with her. "If someone will win more than 24 in singles, well, she'll deserve it. It seems just a matter of time before Williams wins that crowning glory, or indeed a 25th major to stand atop that major's mountain alone. But her legacy is likely to live far longer than records alone." First Post is now on WhatsApp. For the latest analysis, commentary and news updates, sign up for our WhatsApp services. Just go to firstpost.com/WhatsApp and hit the subscribe button. Updated date, January 10, 2019, 11:52 a.m.